Hello, I'm Nate, aka B-Tier Mutineer, and in this week's video I want to highlight a newish indie game that I've been playing and enjoying a lot. He is Coming, developed by Chronicle and published by Hooded Horse. This is a roguelite RPG autobattler in which you are a hero who is trying to defeat the big bad Demon King. To do so, you have to travel through different areas and defeat monsters, equip your hero with items and upgrades, and beat a bunch of boss enemies before you can finally challenge the Demon King. Shout out to my wonderful friend Bev who convinced me to try it. I had it on my wishlist for quite a while since I played a demo during a Steam festival, but never got around to it since based on the demo I wasn't sure how into it I'd be. But after my friend told me about her experiences with it, I realized it was right up my alley, got it for myself, and enjoyed it thoroughly for the few hours I've had time to play this week, and will definitely play it more when my schedule opens up. So here we are with me making a little review/highlight for it. By the way, if you like what you see, He is Coming is currently on sale until January 22nd, 50% off at €10 or $10, which is in my opinion a great price. Before we get into the review, I'll take a moment to say a special thank you to my members. I appreciate all of you so much. Joining as a member would help the channel out a lot, but of course only do it if you want to and if you can afford it. I'm always grateful even if you just like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment. Back to the video. Starting with the gameplay, you have two main activities you'll be doing: exploration and combat. Exploration is a turn-based affair where you move your hero one tile at a time on the map to get to various treasures, merchants, and upgrades, while also having to either avoid or fight smaller monsters that roam the areas. During the day, the monsters are stationary, whereas once night falls, they will start moving towards you if you're close enough, though of course you can move in the opposite direction to avoid them. In addition, during the night, a special encounter activates, the campfire, which allows you to rest through the night until day arrives again and restore some of your hero's health. Once the preparation time passes, the boss enemy arrives, and you must fight it. If you lose, your hero dies and you have to start a new run. If you win, you will move on to another preparation phase for the second boss, and if you beat it, then the third. You'll need to unlock new areas by defeating the 3 bosses of each area, and you'll also unlock new items by doing other tasks or challenges. And eventually you'll be able to challenge the Demon King. Now let's talk about combat. Combat happens automatically in a turn-based manner, and you can watch the fight unfold at different speeds, slower if you want to see how your build and the enemies function, or faster if you already know what you need to and just want to see whether you win or not. In essence, you create your build during the preparation phase and then have to see whether what you put together is able to defeat the boss. Each boss has its own special ability or gimmick, so you may have to pivot away from the build you used to fight the previous boss if the stats you focused on don't interact well with the new boss's abilities. So far, I've found this combination of building your hero during exploration and then fighting the boss at the end to be really fun. Exploration doesn't last super long since it really just depends on how quickly you choose to move on the map and how quickly you make decisions on which items and upgrades you want. So while it's technically a turn-based game, I enjoy the fact that each run is very short, which means I get to experiment with a bunch of different builds without getting stuck with a not-so-good one for too long. There's a lot of depth to discover, but He is Coming doesn't waste your time. And especially considering the fact that this is a roguelite and some of your run very much depends on RNG, I appreciate the speed of the game. The visuals are quite minimalist in that retro pixel style of old RPGs, and I'm all for it. I love how the map looks like, how the hero and monsters are designed, and I especially really love that there's a CRT filter you can turn on in the video settings, which makes me feel really nostalgic and miss my CRT monitor. The effect isn't too strong, and it just really fits the art style of the game. The color scheme is beautiful without being too saturated, and overall it's a very pretty game to look at least for my older gamer sensibilities. The sound isn't anything special. Personally, I have the volume turned quite low since I'm not necessarily a fan of that older style of music that games used to have. I'm not sure if it's called 8-bit or something else. And the sound effects themselves aren't too interesting either, so you can definitely play the game muted. For me, this isn't a negative really because the game knows to focus on what really matters, which is the gameplay first and foremost, and then the cool retro look of the visual design. The sound wouldn't really add very much even if it was more unique. It's gonna be up to you whether you enjoy this style of music and sound effects, or else are fine with playing the game on low volume or muted like I do. To wrap it up, I'll mention I didn't have any performance issues whatsoever. The game ran perfectly smoothly, no crashes or bugs to be seen. It is still in early access though, so I expect that there could be some minor issues still that I was just lucky to not run into. Other than the single player mode, there is also a PvP mode where you can fight against random players, or a friend battle where you can challenge one of your friends specifically. I haven't looked into these myself since I prefer single player, but I've heard these are quite popular with the community, so they're likely very fun if you're into PvP. Overall, He Is Coming has been a very fun roguelite to spend a little time on. I like that you can play it in short bursts of just one run or a few of them, and you can still feel like you've made some progress even if you don't have a lot of time for a longer play session. I don't expect it would take too many dozens of hours to beat all the bosses, though of course they're still adding more content to the game, so I can't say how many areas and bosses there will be by the time it releases out of early access. The one slight negative for me is the base price of the game being €20, because as fun as it is, I don't think I would have bought it at full price. 10 to 15 euros seems far more appropriate to me for what the game is, especially since it's still in early access. So while I do very much recommend He Is Coming if you're a fan of roguelites, I will say it's best bought when on sale. And if you're watching this in the first days after me uploading it, the 50% off sale should still be going until January 22nd, so do pick the game up since that's a good deal. I hope you found this highlight/review of He Is Coming useful. If you enjoyed this, do stick around for indie highlights, reviews, guides, and other videos I plan to make about games I care about. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, or maybe become a channel member. Everything helps. This has been Be Cheer Mutineer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.